How about you got it plugged in though, don't you?
Yeah.
So it should be using battery.
I don't know what, it was giving me a commercial, a Sony commercial. Like, you can't film on your own camera without getting a commercial? I mean,
Oops.
yeah, no stone unturned, huh? Okay, guys, here's the story now. Because I've been on the internet surfing, right, and the wild story, the wild and crazy story, I'll tell you first. Because it's gone viral. There's been over 11 million views of it. That's real viral, ain't it?
Pretty good.
Sandy Hook is a fraud.
Oh, wow.
It never happened. It was actors. It was a staged thing, and the evidence they present in this video will convince you that it's true. That's true. But anyway, just for now, that's number one. Number two is this. You know, the Pentagon was doing some investigation on $2.3 trillion that could not be accounted for. $2.3 trillion that could not be accounted for. And the Navy Department, the Navy Intelligence Division was doing the investigation. The Pentagon was remodeled, and then the Navy Intelligence Group was moved to this remodeled area, and guess which area got hit by the airplane on 9/11? And everybody was killed.
All of the Navy that was in there.
And also, Building 7, that it was imploded, it fell straight to the ground, it was never even reported in the news.
I need purple.
Was the largest CIA headquarters outside of Langley, Virginia, and also where they had all the storage, where they had all the corporate fraud records at. And then this thing went into more detail talking about the floors that were hit on the towers and the reasons that those floors were so critical. But all the same, the thing that really gets you right off the bat is $2.3 trillion. See, that part was already known. There was already an investigation going on.
Yeah.
And that part right there is thought-provoking, isn't it?
Well, see, I can believe some of that about the Pentagon and all that, because they were military
There
that's
is some
had
titanium
wasted money
white.
for years and years. But the Sandy Hook thing, I don't think so.
Well, there's strong evidence on that too. And one of the pieces of evidence is this. One of the dads, they've got a camera running, and this guy comes walking out and he's laughing and joking, and they said, he said, "Oh, are we ready?" And they said, "Yeah." And so he goes like this. Oh, he said, "This is so horrible." And they got it. It's right there. You're watching it on film. I mean, you've seen it happen for sure. It's not. It's for real. You know for sure that it's happening. And also, they posted on social pages trauma. Like, oh my God, I can't believe this has happened to our dear little girl. Only they were posted a day or two ahead of the event.
Oh my gosh.
And this goes on for 30 minutes. I mean, it's one thing after another.
You know, they can do anything with video that they
Well,
want to.
I got enough
I know.
yellow leaf.
But that one with the guy
Still
there
looking for
coming out of that room, that you can tell for sure that wasn't, that was
Here, I got
a
some.
real-time event. But there was so much other stuff, and I can't remember it all right now, because when I first saw it, I was like, what?
Here it is.
And I went back and I looked at it again. In fact, I looked at it, there was two of them, a 30-minute video and then a 20-minute video, and then I went to bed. Got up the next morning, couldn't find them, couldn't open them. One of them had been shut down, the other one, but then I stumbled across it again in another location. But there's others coming out just by the droves.
It's all, those hackers and those whatever,
Oh, I
they know
know.
how to do all kinds of crap on things.
I know, but the evidence that they presented was this, and when you think about the incident, and you look at anything you've seen, you never saw any evacuation students.
You're a tough old
They only had one picture of about 15 kids, a still photograph of 15 kids going across the street. That was it. The bodies were never seen by anybody.
Oh, you mean when they brought the kids out?
Yeah.
Skeeter bite.
Yes.
And also,
Well, I hope they dined well.
it goes on for a while. Now, yes, and so now what they're saying is, that the fraud, that the accusation and all that is, that the parent, they're saying it's too much.
You have to leave
Put
the
the people
stuff
through
on
to-
there
that
to.
this
broke
event
off.
Yeah, but it's
happened
there
to, you know,
somewhere.
For this
I put it back
viral
on and it kept it along.
conspiracy to be,
So
but they collect millions of dollars in donations.
Oh, yeah.
it's a
there.
big one, I think.
But
Yeah,
also,
one like that.
Yeah.
but what they're saying is the real goal was for gun control, you know, that was their purpose.
Well, I can believe that.
Robert,
That I can believe.
I see.
here's that Camille Brown that we were trying to figure out where it was on the left side over there.
But the 9/11 thing, see, I've been studying that for a year. And over and over and over again, I watched those buildings fall, and the other buildings that fell, there was at least 3 other buildings. I think there was 5, but I know for sure there was 3 other buildings that were imploded and fell
Yeah.
straight to the ground.
That's good
Besides
for
the
me.
college.
The ones next to them, because the concussion from those other buildings.
Listen, one of them was 47 stories tall, and it fell to the ground in less
Hey,
than
did
15
you
seconds.
ever, when they were doing it, didn't you notice how straight down they went?
Yeah.
Towers
I
was-
didn't,
That's how
I
the
was too
implode
shocked.
Oh, yeah, I was too, when I looked at it.
I know
on
that,
YouTube,
but the planes hit
it's
them
just like,
and they like had, you know, they went straight down, didn't bother another building around.
and every building that fell straight down. All of them did. And building 7 was never reported.
Now, which one was building 7 though?
Well, see, there was the 2 trade centers, and then there was building 7, and there was several other buildings too. I'll see if I can pull the information up right now. But I know for sure there was 3 buildings. I believe there was 5 other buildings that fell
I
straight
know
to the
that
ground.
I only
know that they
remember
had-
2.
Yeah, but that's all we heard about.
Yeah, because that's the
Oh.
main one.
The 2 buildings
I
and
was
one
wondering
other
when
one.
the airplane
Fall
hit.
straight to the ground, you don't
I
even know
know.
about it?
2
47
buildings
stories.
and one other one fell, right?
Nothing
That's all.
did,
Uh-huh,
you know?
But they're saying more than that fell.
it had to.
I didn't know if it's-
All right, now,
No,
Louise,
but they
Liz
fell
on Crimson
This
Red.
might be a new thing.
But
You
also,
did that
the
one.
US Customs Storage, the US
Do we
Customs.
need
US
SAS?
Customs Storage,
Yeah, sap green, I don't know,
vault
this looks like
was
sap
empty,
down here.
and the door was
too.
open when they,
If it is,
after
that's
everything, you
it.
know, after they went and cleared everything up.
Uh-huh.
There was gold bullion storage vaults below the World Trade Center. There was a truck that was stuck on an I-beam, it was loaded down with gold. That got stuck inside the drivers abandoned the truck. They were looting the gold beneath the buildings. And there was also a $250 billion fraud investigation going on, that the offices that were conducting that investigation was the primary entry point of one of the planes. The FBI, the next floor above it was the FBI offices.
Yeah, they had a whole different bunch of, this is a mess.
We're talking, you know, the 2.3 trillion from the Pentagon, plus we could be talking another $1 trillion.
Here's that
you
one.
know. We're talking money that's
No.
beyond comprehension, right?
It
Yeah.
goes on this.
Yeah, we can't imagine it.
I never
Federal
even
government just-
knew those numbers existed. I was like, when the first time I heard trillion, I'm like, what are you talking about?
And our budget's in the trillions.
And now, I've got this storage disk, an external storage hard drive for my computer that's a 1.5 tetra.
Maybe
Yeah,
you
that's what
can
Bruce has.
lay
It's
it.
full, it just filled up. You know, it's like,
Can I tell you
Just
how
if we
many
could just
trillion
keep
my
it on
husband
there.
has?
And here's
Oh,
A
man.
rubber band,
It's all movies
oh, yeah.
yeah,
A rubber
well, yeah,
band.
and pictures, but mostly movies.
yeah.
He's putting all these movies on.
Well, I'll
TV.
put this
Why-
over here, 'cause I
We'll
didn't-
never be able to watch all those movies.
Well, I'll tell you what, after watching this last documentary I've been watching the 9/11 for a long time and knowing it was an inside job, it never made no sense. Just to go invade Iraq, you know, to do all that just to get us to invade Iraq, it never made no sense. But the other stuff, the complete, it's like also it's like, whoa, that's starting to kind of make sense. And the New World Order is the goal. Also when George W. Bush was president, he signed an agreement with Mexico and Canada that we are one entity. The borders between Canada and between us and Mexico we think they exist, but legally they don't exist no more. And that didn't go through Congress.
What are you looking for?
We're gonna have a common
I don't know, for
currency
this
for all
later.
3 countries.
But that's all right, don't
No,
worry about
that's
it.
what they're saying,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
If we need it, we'll find
But,
it
I
later.
mean-
Our illustrious president that is right now is gonna try to
Oh,
socialize
that's
everything.
from Dr. Red, I did.
Well, he's just a front man, I
Strange
think.
colors.
Maybe not, you know, if he doesn't know it, he is front end. I read this book, in fact, I'll pull it up right here. George, I can't remember his name now. I'll pull this book up real quick. And it's got a picture, it's a book with him using Obama like a puppet, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, here it is, right here.
I got tickled at Donald Trump all because he was on the Michael Berry show on the way over,
Oh, my Lord, he's joined Michael Berry.
And I
can't
was-
believe that.
listening to that. He said, I couldn't believe the way they were making on over Michelle. You'd have thought she'd won Miss Universe. I
Oh,
thought, yeah, you're right about that. They were.
I still am more afraid of her than him.
Lord Jesus.
He's a stupid so-and-so.
Who?
Obama.
Obama. She's smarter than he is.
Wow.
That's
Oh,
not
okay.
saying much.
Did you lose it?
There we go, okay.
Oh, when you get your painting back, when you get a chance at it,
Who you talking to?
put out there it is, so,
David Horowitz. George Soros. George Soros. And the effort to radically change America. And then in 2008, October 30, 2008, they opened up this quote. We are 5 days away from
Try to
fundamentally
tone this
transforming
dark-
the United
Yeah, I
States
was
of
gonna
America.
say, I
Barack
need
Obama.
to do that.
yeah.
Which, I mean, anybody can think, you know, I'm the man that's gonna change the world, or I'm the man that's gonna do whatever.
He believes it though.
But also, Bush, I've got another book on here called The Secret, America's Secret Family, or, let's see what it's called.
Secret family?
Well, hang on. Okay.
Well, you.
The Family of Secrets, it's about the Bush family. And it starts off with Prescott Bush, but, you know, George H.W. Bush is real big on the New World Order. Real big,
Yeah.
super big. Henry Kissinger, real big on the New World Order. George Bush, H.W. Bush, Henry Kissinger, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton. It's other stuff I've been watching, that they're all a team to set up a new world order. Now, they believe with all their heart and soul that what they're doing is for the good of the world, that they'll be able to manage the world better under one.
You believe that they believe that.
Oh, well, they gotta believe, that's what they're not some kind of monsters that are trying to take over the world to be, you know, George.
Well, I mean, we don't really know what anybody
Well, because you
thinks.
can't have a team like that and be thinking, and trust each other unless you think, unless it's gotta be better than just, let's take over the world, you know? Those guys are all American democracy, you know, people have rights and stuff like that, except there's another factor, that they're the elite class, and those that are not able to function in that level, you know, need someone to lead them, and someone to manage them, and someone to take care of them.
Well, Bill Clinton is not stupid. You can't be an Oxford University
Right.
graduate and be stupid.
Well, Bill Clinton,
He just had a zipper that was a little stuck.
well, Kennedy did too, and Kennedy was one of the finest men there ever was. He was so fine, they killed him. They were like, no, dude, you know.
Yeah, because he refused to go along with
Yeah, all our presidents.
They killed
have
John too.
Zippers.
You
It'd be
think
hard
so?
to be in that
think
position,
so,
and, you know, You'd have to be a,
Do you think he was gonna run, maybe?
Yeah.
well, you know, or something, because, yeah. You wouldn't just have groupies, you would have people that wanted to, whatever.
Yeah.
I really think that whether it's gonna happen this year or in 50 years or 20 years or whenever, you know, I think the handwriting's on the wall.
Too much.
But God also said, who was it that said not even the angels know the,
Jesus.
Jesus said that? I can't remember if that was for a second, I couldn't because of the
He
prophecy.
said he didn't know.
And actually, at the prayer meeting, of course, we got a word from this lady at the prayer meeting, and the word was this, that our prayers were actually holding back. You know, we're getting,
Did prayers. You
Well-
told me.
I don't remember the exact quote, but anyway, and the point being is that with our involvement, we can help go against it. We don't have to just sit here and go, well, this problem's gonna happen, you know?
Well, you know, I just pray for the Lord's will to be done, because that's how the Lord's Prayer goes. And, I don't know what's best.
Oh, I don't either. And I
So-
do pray for His will. But I never even thought about before having the ability to pray effectively
Well,
for our government. I've always, you know, been more local minded, more, I never thought about praying for,
I pray
Seriously,
for the
dude.
world leaders all over, for
well,
them to go, for them to follow God's will.
I do too, but
And
I've
whether
never
they
done
know it or not, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, that's the point I was trying to make. That Jesus, see, I don't think that the hour is necessarily written, now God would probably know, He knows all things, so I mean, but I think it still depends on our involvement. I think it depends on how much we have. I think it has a flexible factor.
Okay, I got to make
He's
this.
certainly not gonna give us a
good.
fixed number, because
And
then
it
we'll
ain't
just sit there and wait
working
for it, right?
so far.
Yep, that's true.
We're-
We'll just think it's, there's nothing we
No,
can do,
there
it's
it
what's done is done. And he hadn't dealt with us like that, he never has dealt with us like that.
And you, I just uncovered some. Okay, now we'll get this wet.
That song right there says it all.
Yeah. I've been playing the most beautiful music lately.
I get, you know what, I get to being sure Verna can see, and I don't even think about the camera.
Well, I wanna be sure that everybody can get
That
what they
she
need.
can see
Yeah,
and that-
exactly.
You can too.
Yeah.
Did you ever play your CD that I got you for Christmas?
We're working on it.
Oh, yeah, it's in the.
Don't you just love that guy?
Yeah.
Man, he's
Ain't got to be the part
We
about
don't
you.
ride together often enough, you know, that we can get through it very fast, but we're working on it.
Shadrach, Meshach was one that.
Well, that girl today on that tape, she went through every
Huh?
Bible verse there was in the Bible to get all of her stuff out.
Oh, I have no idea what she said.
Where's your hearing aid? I didn't hear it either.
You know, I was
Then I
talking
better
about
get
the
it
girl
over between
today when she was talking, you know, she was giving all of the synonyms for God and Jesus and the
Uh-huh.
Holy Spirit.
Oh, yeah, I heard her, but I didn't hear what you said just now.
That's why I said she went through the whole bag. She was like, okay, here it is. Well, I picked me some purple. I can't believe I got purple. Wait a minute.
You need purple?
No, that's a different.
I got a purple
Totally out of purple.
down here somewhere.
That's crimson. Woo, I gotta go get some purple.
Here,
Oh, I found it.
I got about
Yeah, I
one
found
squirt
it.
left
Yeah, I found it.
in that one.
It's just buried, 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 buried. I'm putting just a wee bit of this and rounds out. Surely we're getting close to the finish here. Surely getting close to the finish.
Yeah, she was good this time.
Check this out. I got all those books loaded on my phone.
All right.
I think that's crazy, man. That's wild, you know?
Quit.
I'm just rubbing it.
No, you're not. You're using your fingernail.
Nuh-uh,
I saw
promise, promise, promise.
I saw it.
Being naughty again.
You can't trust your eyes better than you can trust me.
Oh, Mark, sit down for her.
Oh, yes.
You should be
okay.
president. You got the right mindset.
Sure there's enough paint.
Well,
She'll
if
tell
I
me
make
it's not.
Verna, if I convert Verna, then I can be president.
I guess you got a chance to work on
What's wrong with this poor thing? It's soaking for an hour. Okay, we'll soak it again. Needs to be longer.
it. That's 90.5, Mom.
Really?
Yeah. You realize, of
Well, I'm
course,
gonna tell you that we don't have unlimited airtime.
we don't?
No,
Uh-oh.
no, we've got about 1,400 minutes between us, but Clifton and Jeffrey don't use airtime
Okay.
very much, but if you start reading books on
No, once the book's downloaded, it's downloaded. Then it's loaded on my phone, I just read it on my phone.
your phone,
Yeah.
on your iPod, on your
On
Kindle.
my phone.
If
It's
you-
not, it is not,
Oh, it's not airtime.
yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
If I listen to the radio, that's airtime. So that's probably a good thing to know, but I don't really listen to the radio that much because you have to kind of be by yourself. And then I do have my Kindle and it's hooked up to my Wi-Fi. And it's hooked up to our house system. Gene, you know that, I don't know if it's you or Mom, but one of y'all's is the wrong color.
Mhm.
Okay.
One of us wanted the
You're
white
talking about the
swan and
big
the other
something,
one
you're
wants
talking about
the,
us.
black one.
The nut color.
We know that. We are creating with this one because this picture doesn't even look like, it's just the bird we took shape with.
Mom wasn't sure, didn't know we was talking about the painting, she didn't know what I was talking about.
Our swans
Trying to
are
wait to
different
see how
color.
that went.
That's awful
She
orange.
wanted common, I
Yeah.
wanted uncommon.
Oh, okay.
What do you think I'm gonna do with
One
that?
thing about it, if you don't like
I
one,
don't
don't
know.
change
I
it to
don't
the
know either.
That's better. Whoa, that's enough.
Ooh, I have made
Not too
an
much.
empty SS. And I mean,
Well,
I
I
Put
did
some
did
it.
yellow
wrong,
on top of
I
it.
did wrong by getting,
I need to be filming this palette over here.
this palette.
Well, no, it's okay, just don't worry about it. I don't mean just this time in particular, but just to be able
A
to.
fresh one, not one of ours.
No, that part don't bother me, but the way she's picking up the paint, the way she's dabbing her brush into the paint,
Oh.
There
you
you
know,
go.
to get the effect she wants, you need to be aware of the total package. You know?
I just figured out how to make it look not on smooth. Now don't get me confused with something else.
He was doing that on purpose, Gene.
He's trying to.
Are you trying to confuse her?
No,
Yeah, he is.
I don't even know what she's talking about, I'm totally confused.
Here we go today. He's
I love that song, man, I love that song.
One day.
We're singing a beautiful song, not this week we were, but next
We've been
week.
singing it at our church, and I don't know why, I just didn't assume that other people were singing it too. And Clifton started singing it one day, and he was little, about 10 or 11. I said, Clifton, where did you hear that? And he said, at youth school, whatever he had been to.
Mm.
What do they call it when our kids go to school?
Youth camp,
Elementary,
Youth camp, yeah, what is it?
they
Youth
call it
camp?
good.
I guess.
Well, anyhow, that's where he learned it. All right, now it's working better.
What made the difference?
I got my paint dry. I think I had oil in it a while ago.
Mhm.
Okay.
Ooh, that almost is clean there. Not much. Almost putting up white. Brush will be no good when I get through with it.
You gotta be careful now, don't be too vain, okay? I mean,
Are you talking to me now or Jean?
Jean, she's over there bragging how that she can destroy anything or something, I don't know what she's.
I'm destroying this brush.
Did it talk back to you?
This brush is.
How long have you been hearing these funny little sounds?
Well, you know how that is.
I got there before you did.
I think these brushes need to be soaked for about 2 hours.
A lot of times, I think you can just like clean them right away.
I do. But they keep, I must put too much.
Oh,
cream
Lord
in
have
or
mercy.
something. See there. Look at that.
You did a job and a half when you had him.
Well, let's just say I'm glad he's got Gene to pick on tonight.
I pick back.
Oh, Lord. We've been together now for 4 years, Mom and, me and Mom and Dad. Poor old Dad, he's just like,
He just-
will y'all shut up?
Bomb shock, huh? And she probably turns around and says, no, I will not.
Whoa,
No, usually when he gets to that point,
we don't say no.
he's getting like.
We just be quiet for a little while.
Yeah,
5
give it
minutes
5
at
minutes,
least,
yeah. So which direction is the light coming from, Mom?
Right there.
Kind of sort of behind the tree?
Well,
Whichever
not
way
this
we want it
instance,
to.
it's gonna hit Buddy around.
Oh, okay.
We're using artistic.
Well, yeah, I guess you'd have reflected light from the sky as well,
Oh,
wouldn't you?
well,
I got this one like a week ago. And just tonight, it started bothering me again, so I
Yeah.
scratched it. Oh, what you got there?
No, it's right there.
I know.
That's right.
What is that?
Benzocaine.
I got two of them. Thank you. I believe that hit them.
I need to give you something like that. Where'd you get that, at Walmart or just wherever?
Mm-hmm. Over there in the denture part. I have an ulcerated area right here where this membrane is,
Oh,
and they never have gotten that straightened out.
oh,
So maybe in a couple of weeks I'll hit my real teeth.
You're gonna get real teeth? Real false teeth or,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a temporary plate.
yeah, I wore temporary for a long time. I didn't, but mine worked, you know what I mean, it was, worked well. Okay, I gotta get, that's what I was looking for and I couldn't remember. I gotta get a color on down here so I can,
You gonna use some of this stuff?
Ooh, this brush don't like it, so.
Wow, what is that?
do that so I can see it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's, you're
I got
leaving
some
that
more.
on, yeah. Well, it's all right for now, but it's running fast because of, liquid dries fast anyway,
Mm.
so it evaporates fast.
That's what it's for?
Well, it's, what's it for? What are you saying?
What's the purpose of the liquid?
Spread it around.
She's, to paint, make, dry, wet paint it here to dry.
Okay. Okay. I wanted to just get that recorded if I could for posterity.
Okay, now, when I get back to here, we gotta get some more paint.
What, the yellow?
Yeah, but I'm not there yet. I gotta clean
Well,
that
by the
off.
time you get there, maybe I will find the tube it comes out of.
Yeah, but I wanna clean
Maybe.
this pot first.
What is that brilliant yellow light?
Yes, yes.
Hot. I'm sitting good. Yeah.
I'm single, and I'd like to find someone to have kids with, the ranger told Stimson and his colleagues while they sat in her living room. I go on a lot of dates. I mean, I think I'm attractive, you know? I'm smart, and I feel like I'm a good catch. But her love life...
Anyway, Donald Trump was saying he pulled out of the race because the front runners were telling him that Romney was gonna win.
Huh.
And he wanted Romney to win.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know that Donald Trump would be my choice for,
No, he wouldn't be mine.
Romney wasn't really my choice.
No,
I had a feeling when Romney started running, I thought, man, they want Obama back in office. You know, they're setting this up. And then when that election went down, it had to turn into electoral college again, and they had to wait till the last minute to see who was winning. I thought, man, this thing is rigged. You know, and it was Florida. Of course, I thought Jeb Bush was still the governor of Florida, but he's not, so.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he don't run in 16.
Ross, you know, that would be so mind blowing to have one family have three
Wouldn't that
presidents.
something?
I'll tell you, if you read this book, The Secret Family, it's kind of, it's a little bit, you know, because H.W. Bush was vice president under Reagan,
Mm-hmm.
2 terms, right?
Yeah,
And he was president 1 term. He was also head of the CIA.
yeah.
You know, I mean,
Whoa.
and his son comes along, he's president twice. After being governor of Texas for a while, but still to be vice, you know, they controlled the country for about 20 years at least. Not to mention what they did, but you know, otherwise. When the CIA is something else that we don't even have a clue. And they have to be, because that's, you know, necessary.
Well, what is getting me, they're talking about putting John Kerry in as Secretary of State.
I thought they'd already done that.
Well, I know
No, not yet.
it's not been confirmed.
Well, check this one out. He has Jewish roots, okay? And they're also talking about our financial, Office of Finance, whatever that is Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
Our Secretary of Defense, or somebody like that, I forget which position it is now, but is anti-Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, all the positions are being filled with Jewish, except for the military.
Well, they got all the money.
Yeah, but also though, if there was to
They're
be,
trying to win back the Jew population that went against them.
but see, they don't want to be, I guess they don't want to run off the Islamic population, so our Defense Department is anti-Jewish.
It's like, hello.
so he's not gonna back the Jews if,
We pulled out of the Mediterranean Sea.
Sea.
We pulled our whole Navy out of the Mediterranean Sea. We weren't gonna.
well, I heard this woman preach it on the radio and she said, the Jews are gonna stand alone, it's the Bible.
Oh, that's the Bible, yeah. Because God wants everybody to know, hey, guys,
I don't need you.
yeah, you know, y'all are not really getting the big picture here.
Yeah. I'm moving to Israel.
What are you looking for?
You know? Now that, I hadn't even thought about that one, that's a good
What's
one.
that?
You
You
know,
moved to Israel,
I grew up across the street from a Jewish synagogue.
did you?
Yeah. And me and the rabbi, we was friends when I was little. And he let me look into the place where they worshiped and everything. He said, it's the women's way back here, here's the men's way up here, and that's the way they still do it. And, you know, the Torah, he showed me all of that, I know all of that stuff.
I went to when I was out in California, I went to a home church of Messianic Jews.
Mm-hmm.
And the Saturday is the Sabbath, so we were there all day. And, but anyway, Messianic Jewish, but they were dressed Orthodox. Everything they were doing was Orthodox. The young man sitting next to me had this straight brimmed hat, you know, and long curls and little, his hair was cut real nice and neat, and, you know. He was the most Orthodox looking of all of them, with the rabbi and his wife. I've told y'all this story before, I'm sure, haven't I? Anyway, because the next part I'm going to tell you, I just want to be sure. I started talking to them and telling them about my personal experiences and my understanding. And I told them about speaking in tongues. And the rabbi's wife, you know, she got real stiff. She'd been over serving the rabbi. She got real stiff. She said that was just for that day back then. And this young man sitting next to me, he was real meek like. He goes,
With a curl, with
yeah,
a
with a curl.
orthodox.
He goes, I've spoken in tongues. And they were all just like, and I was just sitting there going, you know, 'cause
It's not granted to everybody, though.
What?
It's not granted to everybody.
What makes you say that?
Because the speaking, and I know why they say that the thing, because when they started speaking in tongues, it was so they could understand when the Holy Spirit came. The Holy Spirit doesn't come to you to speak in tongues, then you won't. It doesn't hurt that you don't
But
speak
what,
in tongues.
what do you have to back that up?
Well, not to back it up, is because everybody doesn't speak in tongues, Rita.
That's
But
right,
if
but
you
it doesn't
pray
mean
for
that,
it,
it
Doesn't
doesn't
mean
mean
you
that they,
can't.
huh?
It doesn't mean that
well,
you
what
can't
she's
speak
asking
in
you for is
tongues.
for the scripture that says this is only for, you know, it's not available to all.
Well, because I think, because when you were granted gifts, and
Now,
they were
gifts-
saying
gifts-
the thing, and that's
Gifts
what
is
they,
one thing, okay? Now, the infilling of the Holy Spirit is not a gift.
no, that's,
That's not a gift.
as soon as you accept Christ, you
gift of
receive the
tongues
Holy
Is
Spirit.
another thing altogether.
So,
So there's an unknown tongue, but actually the infilling of the Holy Spirit, on that day, people from different places understood what they were saying, so apparently it was a language that was spoken on the face of the earth.
yeah,
You know, and I've heard of people in China getting the Holy Ghost and praising God in English.
so,
You know, so, but that's the sign of the infilling. The gift of tongues is an unknown, it's a heavenly language. You know, so it's a, yeah. But anyway, it was just fun, you know, being there at that group, get that gathering, and that guy getting that response. It was curious. And then I never have seen or heard from him since. That was 10 years ago probably.
and I'm trying to think, I think it was Paul that said that if you speak in tongues, you also should be able to interpret to any of
Well,
those that
Paul
can.
said, I pray in tongues more than you all.
Yeah,
But he also said, speak in tongues in courses of 2 or at the most 3. Then if there
Give
be no
messages.
interpretation,
Yeah, that's
be
giving
quiet.
messages. Yeah, that's giving messages. If you're-
But
if
so
you're-
there's not always
You're giving a
somebody
gift.
there to give the interpretation.
Yeah, and don't just stand there and keep the thing confusing and out of order,
yeah.
chaotic or something like that. Over the years, I used to give messages, but I don't. One of the things that happened to me was in Austin, this pastor came with me and said, don't you ever give another message until I tell you to. So maybe I was getting out of order, maybe I was getting to where didn't have the right spirit or something. See, now, what does that mean? You know, how's that even an option? How's that possible? Do you have any personal control? You know, is it even an
Yeah.
option to even have personal control over it? Because the first time I ever gave one, I was brand new, and I'm standing there at the church next to Mom and Aunt Ison, and all of a sudden I felt something push in the church, and you could tell there was a heaviness in the church, a huge church. There was a heaviness in the church, and I felt something push, and I was like, oh my God, you know? Because as a child, I had heard my daddy interpret messages. One time I remember for sure, that Mom says he did it twice.
Well,
But
I could
anyway,
be wrong.
finally I just let it come out, and nobody interpreted it. And so here I am. But that time I know for sure that was something else. You know what I mean? It wasn't me trying to willfully do
Yeah.
something. But over time I've learned that you can, in fact, you got to be submissive and to put your will, to keep your will out of the format is, people would talk about hearing God. And I always think, okay, so you hear a voice. But then over time, some people would say, well, it's a thought you get or it's a feeling. And what I've gotten is to where I get this feeling in my heart. I'll be saying something and also be like, and I'm like, uh-oh, let me be quiet here, or, you know, just something like that. And I call that hearing from God, you know. Now, how anybody else, if there's people that actually hear But one time I was out looking at the moon. It was one of those hazy nights where there's an aura, a ring around, you know, an aura around you, big full moon, and I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking, which is like that moon? And man, this thought came in my head so strong, that's my moon. And it was like, wow.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Stand along to the witches, what are you talking about?
But it was a thought, you know, to the best of my perception. Yet at the same time,
But who makes, you know, this is, I mean, I'm trying to think who asked this, and one time asked me this, it says, how do you know that your thoughts are not God's thoughts? And I said, you don't, that's the whole thing.
yeah. In that particular
Because
instance.
see, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I know the Holy Spirit's telling me to do something.
Right.
Because all of a sudden it'll be like, oh, I need to call so-and-so and go see them.
Yeah.
Because like a couple of weeks ago, one of our ladies that plays, well, she's in my Sunday school class and all that stuff, we play cards together and all that kind of stuff, and they had taken her to the hospital. And she'd been having periods of times where she just, it wasn't like she had Alzheimer's, but she just couldn't remember stuff, and she was really tired, and she was like, you know, kind of confused. And so they took her into the hospital, and she was there. And one of her neighbors called to check with her husband, well, how's everything going? Well, everything's all right. Do you want me to come up and stay with you? No, I'm okay. No, y'all just, you know, don't do it. Well, I had planned to go home early from cards because I was like, oh, I'm gonna go home early from cards. I don't want to play anymore. And so I'm sitting there and I'm going, and they said, well, she didn't want anybody to come up there, but when I called him, they called him to see how she's doing. He said, well, he's so soft-hearted, he's just, you know, he was in tears over the phone. And it's almost immediately, and I don't go to the hospital. This nurse doesn't go visit people in the hospital. You can ask Verna that. Isn't that right, Verna? I call you on the telephone.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't go see her in the
I
hospital?
don't go see people in the
Well, she
hospital.
did
Because
because
when I do, all of a sudden, I take charge. And that's very hard for staff to
Okay, I got you.
Okay, but then something just said to me, you're gonna have to go see Charlene and Jack.
You do.
So I went, and when I got there, the woman was totally out of her mind. She didn't know anything, she knew what's going on, but she goes, Jack, come here. What do you want, Charlene? I want, well, you know what I want. No, I don't. What do you want me to do? Well, you know, and it was just like that all the time. It's like, you know, she was in and out and in and out and in and out. Well, and I started looking at her and I'm thinking, she almost acts like she's having an allergic reaction to a drug or something. She hadn't had anything except the stuff that she usually takes. Well, they had given her something IV, and I'm going, what in the world are they giving you and everything? And then I thought, well, and then she was acting like she's weak on one side, and the lady is wheelchair bound because she wants to be. Let's put it that way. She can walk with her walker, but it hurts her too much to walk, and so she'd rather be in that wheelchair whizzing around and all that kind of stuff. And but she couldn't even stand up. She wanted to get on the bedside commode. She couldn't stand up. She couldn't put her feet down and she does that to get in the wheelchair. I mean, it's not like she's helpless like that, but she just couldn't in. I said, Jack, I'm not sure. I said, but, you know, I said, she does have a little weakness on this other side, but there you go. Well, she's allergic to morphine, and I don't know if she got morphine or not in the ER or whatever it was or what she had. But anyway, I looked at her, I said, where's her allergy band? Well, they didn't put one on her. So when the nurse came in, open mouth, insert foot, she doesn't have her allergy band on, and she's allergic to morphine. Oh, well, just a moment. She goes back outside. 5 seconds later, here she comes back in with the allergy bracelet. It should have been on her since the emergency room. But anyway, okay, now I'm not sure. Did they give her morphine? I had no earthly idea. I didn't see any charts.
Yeah.
But then I went back out there and I said, I'm going to tell you something. I've known this lady 35 years. She taught my child world history in high school. She's a very intelligent woman. I said, this is not her. This is not her behavior. I see her 2 and 3 times a week, and this is not her behavior. I said, this is I mean, this not being able to stand up, this not being, I mean, being totally out of it and not being able to cooperate. I said, this is not her. Well, the doctor was very slow in coming. But anyway, he found out, she was in the hospital almost the entire day before he ever got there. He got there about 5 o'clock, I left at 4. And he hadn't come to see her. Then after he got there and he starts looking at her heart monitor and sees that her heart rate is just all over the, I mean like this. He says, oh, you need a pacemaker. Well, this would explain some of the confusion, because if your heart's not pumping right, then you're not getting oxygen or glucose to your brain, which is the only 2 substances your brain uses. That's why all your blood vessels, everything comes through up here, okay, through the hypothalamus for all it, it's like choo, 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 choo. Okay, that's why it doesn't get there, and you're not getting any sugar, which you need for the energy, but it also needs it to correlate what the brain is doing. So here she is with that. Okay, then he started looking at all of her drugs she takes. She's had so many different things going on. She was taking drugs that she should have been taking. She should have stopped taking months before, or when she had something. I mean, so her drugs were all messed up. So they finally decided part of it was a drug allergy to whatever, and the other part was that her pacemaker, she needed a pacemaker. So after they decided that, and they started getting, it was like, well, Charlene's back now. Okay, this is the woman, that comes. But it's like all of a sudden I'm just like, okay, and that's how I know. And then there have been times that I've been urged to go and I refuse.
Well, if God urges you to go see me, you do it.
I'll
If
have
I'm
to.
in the hospital.
Okay, I will. I promise. I mean, really and truly, I don't go because of that.
Well,
Unless I have
I appreciate your wisdom in that because of what you said, but I do think that if you are consciously considering that might be
Well, see,
God's prompting.
Well, that's why I said, it's like, okay, I was not, I was not planning on going to the hospital. I was
Yeah.
not planning to go visit her.
The old lady I went and saw in Austin, Texas, I'd go visit her about once a week or something like that. She was an elderly lady, and this one day I'm just riding down the road, and all of a sudden it's like, I need to go see her. So I went over to see her, and
See, that's the prompting of the
Yeah.
Holy Spirit. It's like, boom.
yeah,
And I mean, it doesn't have to, that's why I said one of my aunts was seriously ill, and I didn't want to see her dying. I didn't want to see her dying, because I'd watched my mother, and she was my mother was, they were like this, 2 sisters, the baby sister and the oldest sister. I mean, that was the thing. And I kept getting this, you better go see Aunt Betty May, you better go see Aunt Betty May. And I'm going, I don't want to, I don't want to, I don't want to. So I didn't, till she passed away. And then I'm going, oh, I should have, oh, I should have. And you're just going to get kicked for that. And I knew, but I could not make myself, and that's what, when she was saying about pulling on the strings and saying, I'm not going to, it's just like pulling the mule. That's what she was illustrating. It's like we're balky sometimes. We don't
Yeah.
take the urge.
and that has me concerned about my
I have a tendency to
serving
be
the Lord,
bossy
because
too.
I've had people give me
Well, she
prophecies,
said,
give me
we
word,
won't.
give me,
I know,
numerous
bossy
times. And I'm like, okay, so when's this gonna happen? Well, now I'm kinda concerned, like maybe I'm waiting on something that's waiting on me,
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah.
See, and that's the truth. You do. Sometimes you do. One of my friends, Lois Malone now, she was a Bradshaw when this took place, but her husband was dying and he was at home on hospice. And I had called my Sunday school teacher, who happened to be one of the principals at Deer Park High School anyway, and I said, Norma, I'm feeling a prompt to come over and see Lois and Bill. She said, Jean, don't do it. She said, because they're, it's real blah, 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 blah. Okay, I won't. Well, I kept going, okay. Well, the Holy Spirit Spirit told Norma, go ask Lois if she wants Jim to come over. And she did, and Lois said, oh, could she? And so Norma called me back and asked, she says, she wants you to come over. Well, as soon as I got there, I knew that I was supposed to give him a bed bath because he needed to feel refreshed and whatever. And the next day he passed away. So it was like, that was the prompting that, you know, I knew there was something I was supposed to do for Bill that that needed to be done.
And who was Bill?
It was my friend's husband. He was dying of lung cancer. One of those times that you don't know anything's wrong with you, you're just retired, you're having fun, and oh, you got a cough, and oh, well, maybe better to go check about this cough, go and check your cough, and your cancer's already so big it's unreal.
Hmm.
And within just a few months, he was gone. Everybody was like, just totally blown away. And God took him home quickly. But that's why I said I get prompts, and then it's like either right then I have
What
to
would be
address
causing
it.
the pain? And it feels like somewhere in here, and it was just intermittent, and then it got to where it was continuous. So I called my doctor and wanted a referral back to see my liver specialist. Well, I told them I needed to see somebody. I wanted somebody to see it, and they said, well, let me just go give you a referral, because all they've been doing is send you to the liver specialist. But the liver specialist said that I have fibrosis and that my pancreas has to work overtime to produce insulin. And I've noticed whenever I drink Dr. Pepper or something like that, that I would actually feel it, physically feel it. And so I associated that with sugar intake or something, but it wasn't quite the same spot in a way. But in a way it was.
When your liver is sitting over here and your pancreas is sitting attached to it, okay, you've got all of these blood vessels and stuff that are running hither and yon, and the liver's full of toxins, and it's full of blood vessels, because that's what it's doing is filtering out the toxins.
Right.
So if he's saying you have fibrosis, it means there's certain parts of the liver that are literally getting kind of hardened.
Oh, okay.
So that's a simple way of explaining it.
Okay.
So that could be causing the pain?
Yeah. Because your liver's trying to.
But it also seemed like after I had a seizure one time that I must have fallen on something, or I wasn't sure, because it seemed sore after that.
Yeah.
Like I thought for a long
And
time,
you
I thought I damaged my
that
neck.
could
and
still be, because your ribs are still
Yeah.
in this area too.
Yeah, and I thought I'd broken a rib or something, or cracked a rib, or done
Yeah.
something, that I'd hit something maybe. And I hate to go see this liver specialist, because he really don't, he's one of the, I don't know, Mansour, his name is Mansour, and he's a liver transplant kind of person. I don't know what that means, except that he's one of that Methodist hospital. Is that where the statue of Jesus is, and the woman's at his feet? Is that it?
Or is that St. Luke's?
I think it's Methodist, that's where you went.
Myrna, are you awake enough to know where it was?
Where what was?
Describe it to her
The
again in a
statue
loud
of
voice.
Jesus, the statue of Jesus standing there, and their woman at his feet.
It's a beautiful statue.
Yeah, it's an incredible statue.
You talking about the divine servant?
Maybe.
It's at this
That's
hospital
when
downtown.
Jesus is washing John's feet?
No. Jesus is standing, and the woman is at his feet being healed.
Oh,
Is that in front of Methodist or in front of St. Luke's?
St. Luke's, I think.
Yeah.
Because the one in front of Methodist is that bronze little
It's
boy
not
and
in-
girl.
It's not in front, it's inside, right, Ricky?
Yeah, it's in the lobby, in the vestibule, or somewhere in there. It's I don't have it. Anyway, he's in that. I think that's where. I don't even know if that's where he was. Because when I get down there, they say you need to be in this building across the street or something. So I might have been in the wrong place anyway.
I gotta see how much she's been over there.
But I don't want I don't wanna waste government money, and I don't wanna waste my time or his time. If all he's gonna say is, you know, hey, there's really nothing I can do for you, you know, it's just, or I don't want him to, also don't want him to say, well, we need to operate, and I'm thinking, cause you know what they said on my seizures, was that they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me, so also this neurologist is talking about operating on my brain, I'm like, I'll tell you what, I'm late for lunch. I gotta go.
You know, operating on your brain is probably one of the easiest surgeries there is.
Really? Yeah.
Except you may die, but that's aside the
Yeah.
point.
Well,
No,
that's within
they
it.
can, after they get through the skull and the top layer, you can operate on your brain, now you won't feel any pain at all, because there's no pain except it's on your brain.
Yeah, I'm not worried about pain.
That's how they stop
About
seizures
recovery.
and stuff.
He's not so worried about pain as he doesn't want,
I'll be able to function, it's all over with.
yeah.
Well, usually they don't have any problem with the functioning afterwards.
Yeah.
Because all they're doing is going in with, usually with electrodes and hitting the centers.
But I mean, if they don't know,
that
if they don't know why you're having seizures in the first place, what can they do in surgery to stop them?
create a seizure so that they can figure out what point is actually causing the seizure activity. I think she's having fun with this picture.
I'm like, oh, is it time for me to move?
It's 27.
She wants me to move.
Now, you better get moving then.
Will you get my mug back there? I've run out of this stuff. Where's this?
This is the book I'm thinking about purchasing today. If I don't purchase it, it'll be gone when I come back because it's on my left.
Yeah, maybe if that's the only one.
You think so?
Is it real expensive?
$14.95.
Gene, what I'd like to do if I can is film this, and so I want to,
He wants you to come over.
just be aware of, I'm gonna have the screen
Want me on
flipped
the other
around.
side?
If you can sit right there and watch, that's fine, and it won't be going past her shoulder, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. You want to do through here,
Well, you can get closer than that,
No,
actually.
I want you here.
right here on this side?
Yeah.
Oh, well, never mind, just, yeah,
Now,
sure.
she wants you over there.
Are you gonna do mine or yours?
Well, I'm gonna work on one.
Yeah, Bruce printed that out with the brand new colors.
All right. Now we need to redo a bunch or something?
I think we just, his beak, we weren't happy with either one of our beaks, I think. When we were looking at it, we were going, And, oops, wait a minute. Here's the new batch, I'll keep them separate.
Like Verna, didn't have a brush I could paint with, I just didn't know what to do. So she pulls
Verna, you
out
can
this
get
new
as close as
package.
you want. It's just that last. In fact, all I see right now is that the brushes and the painting.
She's looking to decide which brush she wants here.
Why aren't those in here?
They want stuff in there. I figured I could keep these newer looking and I would squash them in there so much.
Oh,
And here's the.
oh, you got some more there?
We're
Pull
doing
them out of here.
Hey, Mom, you got 50 cents?
Yes.
That's a little tip again.
Well, would $1 do?
That'd be great. That'd be awesome. Wow. You got 20?
You only dropped one. You picked up one.
I know, but I didn't pick up the tip that was on.
Oh, I don't see it on the floor.
'Cause I want to
Usually
try
the
to
light will
keep the-
shine on it.
The tip point, so we keep
Okay.
it looking good.
These are better.
Yeah, I think those are the ones we used last week.
All right.
I did not see that one. It probably grows from here to China.
See, I want you to see this and this. I wish the camera could too, maybe it will. Well, I got news to tell you something. This pilot needs changing.
Well, I was hoping we could get through that. I scraped off places since we. I tried to make one way.
Oh, those don't go to our wheelchair. Our wheelchair already has them.
Oh, the ones,
Our wheelchair already has these.
Well, I can't.
we don't know where
what to
the,
do with them.
Oh, I'll keep them. That doesn't bother me. I had some.
you never know when
It's
they
like a
might get.
scraper. I think it was in here. It's like-
We used to have 2 wheelchairs, didn't we?
We used to, but someone stole one.
Oh, that's probably,
Well, what happened?
that's
someone
somebody
stole
stole it.
Can I have one of those bigger towels? They're just probably like that big.
No,
What
you
do
can
you
have
want?
one. She wants to borrow a paper
They're just
towel.
probably like that big. I need to kill somebody who's freaking out.
What did he say?
He says I need to kill somebody who's freaking out, so he's taking. Something must have got on the floor or something.
Mhm.
See, I think a swan's beak is longer and it's more hooked, and that's what I'm trying to.
No, it ain't more hooked. Don't even start that.
It's
What's
just,
going on up here?
When he
we're
plays
discussing
that,
this,
when he plays that back, it's gonna sound so professional.
Spider.
I don't want
oh, a
it.
spider?
Yeah, it was like
Oh,
that big.
oh,
Oh,
I'd freak out too.
it must be a long leg or
It
something.
could be.
You'd be surprised sometimes how just a little bit
Just
longer
longer
seems
seems, yeah.
longer. But maybe not long enough, we'll see.
Well, that looks better, Miss Rheda. Yeah. That already makes him look.
You're not real up on getting film off, are you? Just for your information, that one's not off. Hi, are you looking for a bathroom?
Oh, I mean, thank you, though.
Okay.
Maybe they're looking for somebody there.
Speaking of which,
My Dr. Peppers.
I switched over to diet, you know.
Ooh, that's bad for you.
Well, and then I got to where I wasn't, I even quit that too. But I did that to get me off of this because I'm able to quit anything really, to say the truth. You know, if I decide to quit it, because I quit everything. You get a lot less of stuff that I'm not supposed to. I was smoking 2 packs a day,
Yeah,
and I just decided one day, you know what? I'm gonna quit.
Good thing. That's healthy, unhealthy
Yeah,
for you
I
too.
chewed on a straw, pull a straw to help me. But yeah,
that was smart.
some was, well, I was also smoking weed, but you know.
Yeah, that probably helped you quit cigarettes.
Marijuana is actually better for you than tobacco.
Better or
Safe.
badder?
Better. If
Oh,
you're gonna
yeah.
smoke,
It
Yeah.
hurts
the
hurts
parts,
your
but-
lungs.
Yeah.
tobacco
Well, I quit
just
that
will
too.
kill your lungs.
And I quit, but some of the stuff I'm not gonna take credit for. I believe with all my heart and soul that God got me off alcohol. He certainly helped. He put me in a situation where I couldn't get none for 3 months, you know?
That helps.
Yeah. But I quit drinking coffee, not about a year ago or something, because it was making me hurt. I was drinking too much of it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was making me hurt, and so I promised God I would quit, but then I thought, well, I don't know if I'm promising I'll quit.
Let me tell you a story about that. We were in the car at breakfast and, so he said, I promised God that I would quit coffee. I don't guess it matters much. I don't guess it really matters. And thump, his coffee turned over. He spilled every drop.
I love that. Oh my.
I don't guess it matters much.
Yeah. That's sort of kind of like being prompted by the Holy Spirit. Sometimes you think, man, that couldn't possibly be, I mean, that just was coincidence. That's
That could
just,
have happened, yeah, it could.
But on the other hand,
You believe whatever you want to.
you know,
He said, I got
yeah, the timing was certainly,
ya. Apropos to the situation.
Right.
Oh, sorry, God. Well, that was like me in Facebook and all the games and stuff. Man, I was spending all this time, all of a sudden I go, I gotta stop this. This is an addiction to me.
Uh-huh.
And then I quit that sucker cold turkey, just didn't even go back.
You don't
Every
touch
once in a while-
Facebook?
Nope.
You
I,
got
every once in a while, I think I ought to go to
I quit
Facebook
Facebook,
and look at some, because my cousins and now, oh, well, we posted this on Facebook, we posted this on us, and I'm sorry, I don't do, what? No, I don't do Facebook.
I quit watching TV.
I did
Now,
too.
TV, I can't give up, Lord, don't even ask me to, please.
I was just wasting too much time.
It's just time consuming as Facebook.
Well,
I
no.
was watching the History Channel and the Discovery Channel,
Not
and,
to
I was watching
you,
all this
No,
stuff.
that Facebook was getting to be.
All day long?
I mean, it was from morning till night and whatever, and it's like.
Really?
See, and I don't here's my thing with TV, I don't turn it on until the evening. It doesn't, the television does not go on until about 5 o'clock. And then I catch the news and then I watch TV.
When I got on disability, for a while there, I wasn't really sure what to do, and I had
Yeah.
TV, so I figured it out. I just lay in bed and watch TV. But after I did that for a while, I thought, no, this really isn't the solution.
Now, I'm a multitasker, Vern will tell you that.
Yeah, me too.
When I'm doing TV, I'm also doing other stuff,
Me too.
so.
I do too. I was,
And then I figured out that if I taped everything, then I could cut out the commercials and I'm watching less TV.
Well, it was actually the commercials that got me to stop watching TV because
They're so
commercials are
bad.
getting so,
Ridiculous.
yeah.
There's only
Well-
one that I like now, and that's the H&R Block one, when the ladies, he says, oh, this lady brought me in her stuff, and it's been 7 years since she filed a return, and he wants it. And she just came in and dumped all her filed things and just left. I love that, because I'm going, Glenda.
oh yeah,
My sister had to file an income tax reform, I can't tell you
Poor
what it was like
Glenda.
that. And I'm going, okay, she said, well, I don't make enough to file one. I'm going, honey, you're supposed to file one if you only made 5 cents. There's more than,
That's an eyeball.
We'll be at a,
I don't know, Mother and Daddy didn't file one for years.
Well, you know, years ago, they didn't have income tax.
well, that's true.
I don't know exactly when it came in.
Well, when Daddy had the
In,
shop and
like
everything, he
thirties.
had to do one,
Something like that.
but when he sold the shop,
Your mama has the steadiest hands of anybody
Oh, I
I've
do
ever seen.
not. Look, my finger's laying down on your stupid candle.
On your stupid
I know, but I
canvas.
couldn't do that. Won't do.
Well, we're gonna have to work on, that's not good etiquette. I don't.
I told her,
I won't say.
told her, this is gonna sound real professional when you play it back.
No, I've already figured out we're gonna have a soundtrack. We're gonna come up with something else, a narrator. We'll have to have a narrator, I guess, that's what we'll have to do. In fact, I could probably get you to narrate. Once I get the final copy, I'll just get you to narrate it, because you'll be able to explain what you're doing, that'll work. That'll work real good,
me,
maybe.
Who, Verna?
No, you.
Oh,
No, why would we get Vernon? Good grief, Vernon.
that's about right too.
But I'm gonna have to make us an edited copy here pretty quick, because I got too much backlog.
yeah, it's gonna, after a while, what does it say? What do they say when you let it get so big that it overwhelms you like,
Yeah.
you know, when you,
Yeah, it doesn't have any value, because
drive you nuts.
I've got at least
just
40
to
hours.
look at it.
I don't know, maybe
Okay.
more.
Maybe divide it up into 30-minute segments.
Well, what I'm gonna do is get rid of most of it, because most of it, you know, is, I don't know, we'll just have to see how it goes. But yes. Sometimes if like just one person shows up, or even two people, and you film one person for an hour and a half, you know. And that can get tedious when you're sitting there watching a video.
I don't think so.
It depends on what, yeah, it depends on
Yeah,
how.
what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. We were definitely gonna edit the soundtrack for an hour and a half, I guarantee you that. Stuff that we talk about and say.
Or you just wanna use it for blackmail.
All right,
Not even, I assure you, that is not my goal. My goal is, actually what I wanna do is make something that has great value to
if
reference.
you blackmail somebody, you gotta blackmail somebody that there's a.
There's
Has money.
Something that you can get out of it.
I see.
Yeah. Well, see, now I go, since I scoop on 9/11, so I'm gonna get a hold of Bush.
Well, he's got money.
I know it, they've got $2.3 trillion, I just heard about.
Yeah, he's sitting up there on 512
512, what does that mean?
when he was in Methodist.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah.
tell you exactly where he was.
Oh, really? They got a special place for
They have a
him?
big suite.
It's the VIP floor.
Oh, okay, well, he was singing with staff and stuff, they said,
They have their own linen
do they?
that goes on the beds
Well,
up
you know, when
there.
you're extremely wealthy,
They have their own china.
I mean, I don't know this for a
They
fact.
have sterling silver, not silver plate. It's sterling. They have their own personal chef for that floor only.
Well,
And I hated working up there.
you didn't like the affluent?
Mm-mm. No, because when you had to go up there to float, it wasn't a real pleasant place to go in that the charge nurse up there had her head up her butt most of the time and didn't know what was going on. And she kept moving the crash cart.
So what, really?
she put it over here tonight, she might put it over there next week, put it over here somewhere else, according to who she thought was the most important patient. That's where the crash cart went, next to their door. I didn't like it. I thought they were all important myself, but, well,
Well, it's he who pays the most money, Vern.
huh?
He who pays the most money.
Yes, according to who has the most money, is about right.
And I watched this other documentary on this corporation
Okay.
buying up all the
I don't know
corporations.
how
They
to-
bought McDonald's,
you
they
can
bought
get rid of that
Shell, they
red.
bought
Let me-
AOL, they
Your
bought.
knife.
Just all
Away
Here,
campgrounds.
I saw it.
Getaway campground.
Mhm.
What is that?
It's a place where you can go camping.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, maybe they did buy that, but I'm still thinking that McDonald's and Shell is probably, I don't know how big KOA is and what kind of,
They're nationwide.
you know, but all the same, yes, this one corporation is buying up everything that it can worldwide, and the goal is, when it's all said and done, to have a mother corporation over everything in the world. And it makes
Well, that's
sense.
gonna be a corporation dictator.
Exactly, it's gonna be corporate rule. Yeah. I mean, they'll have different boards and different whatevers, you know, but they'll have a CEO, they'll have
It worked. Yeah, it did.
El Presidente. Now, the way this video was a little bit more creative. It was, I wasn't quite so sure that this particular one was based all on real
Fact.
life facts and not just, you know,
Somebody's
the
imagination.
the facts they were given as far as who this corporation or these other corporations and stuff like that is verifiable. You can check that out, you know.
Yeah.
And they were worried about corporate structure of business when it first started happening, because they could see the handwriting on the wall. And that's why they've had trouble with monopolies and stuff.
If I did this black,
AT&T is buying up all the
I would
communication
rather
companies.
have this
AT&T's almost monopoly
bluish,
again.
blue shade instead of this, so it looked black.
Right.
And you can't figure your bill out. And one of the tricks that corporations are doing now is they make their bill
Check it?
so challenging that they can get an extra
You wanna
25
try
bucks
it?
out of you
Yeah.
for nothing.
What?
Just
Okay.
because they just,
Kind of made
Guilty
it
for
more
it, yeah.
gray.
No.
if you
a
do that to
blue
100 million
sheen.
people, well,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Now, if it doesn't work, we'll wipe it off.
Do it to 10 million people is a lot of money. Every month.
And I got tickled at Donald Trump a while ago. Michael Berry was asking me
She
some
done that
questions.
with black.
and
Oh,
He
yeah.
said, how do you deal with all these foreign entities? Well, it's one thing for them to be here, it's one thing for them to be there. He said, the
Oh,
United
thank you for
States,
putting it way back. That's good.
don't, they just hand it to them. Authority and money and all that stuff. And if he goes to another country, he has to work his tail off to get it done.
I missed something there.
They don't think that the US of A is worth a blip.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, none of the foreign countries do.
Well, and to a certain degree,
Well, I
I
guess
mean,
we've kinda earned that.
yeah,
We're too,
Pushing.
easygoing.
yeah, and when I went to,
Well, now,
when I was in 1981, I went to Saudi Arabia, and when I landed in Amsterdam, on the way across the ocean, on a KLM charter jet that Saudi, it was leased out to Aramco Oil. I went in the bathroom and smoked a joint. Well, the stewardess came up to me and she goes, "Oh, listen, don't do that no more, okay?" Whenever we're going across the ocean, you know. So we landed in Amsterdam. Well, in Amsterdam, I thought that was part of their culture, you know. I thought it was okay. I thought, you know, and I had one more in my pocket. I was taking over to Saudi with me. So whenever I started going through, that was the first place I've been in an airport where they searched you. This was in 81, and so I had to hold my hands out, and they patted me down, and when that guy grabbed my pocket, and he looked me straight in the eyes, while he was holding my pocket, I'm just looking him straight in the eyes, like, where do we go from here? He let my pocket go, but he was letting me know. I know what you got
Don't do
there.
it.
Yeah. But when they first started to search me, my attitude was, I'm an American. I got
Who do you
rights.
think you are?
You had rights back there, not the rights
Right?
up here.
But I'd never been out of the country before, and I just thought, by George, I got rights. And then when I go to Saudi, of course, for that 6 weeks I was drying out, and like my personality became intense. And at that time I was taking karate, and I was also playing pool all the time, and so I was an American at his worst, probably.
You were the ugly American.
There
is
were
that
a
what
lot
you're
of
saying?
them like that.
Yeah.
That's why they don't like us.
It's because they think we're infidels.
Well, now, that's a whole different ballgame. The infidel situation, that's anybody in the world that's not a Muslim. But definitely us, because we'll go over there and force feed you. And that's one thing that Obama said he wasn't gonna do. He said he pulled our Navy out of the Mediterranean, and the Russians came in and took over. But Obama said we weren't gonna force ourselves on Syria. I'm thinking, yeah, right, and you're also gonna just leave Israel just sitting there by herself, But regardless, I don't know if we've ever pulled our Navy out of the Mediterranean.
Well, it's not out of the
Start
not
over,
out of the
Jimmy.
Mediterranean because Naples, NATO and all that's in the Med.
Okay,
So we're just pulled out of this section down here. We're not pulled out of the whole
we didn't leave the
Mediterranean.
Mediterranean entirely.
No, we're still, NATO's still over there, and the Navy base is still there. Because that's where NATO operates
Okay.
out of. But they bet, I was just like, okay, now they kill those people from the United States.
Oh, and Hillary Clinton was getting kind of feisty with them about, like, why are you, why you got such an attitude about this or something? She finally went before a hearing a couple of days ago.
She took the buck.
She took the bug for it, but in the process, she still was not just, she wasn't just taking whatever they gave her. She was coming back kind of firm, which may or may not be an option.
I've always said that Hillary to me, Hillary was a good Secretary of State.
I
And
think
I
she
can't
busted her
believe she
tail.
looks-
I do.
Yeah, that woman aged more than the president did,
Oh, yeah.
and
No,
more than her husband did.
I admired her, quite honestly. It wasn't until I really found out how connected they are to the New World Order that I really got kind of thinking, whoa. Bill Clinton is in like Flynn with the people that are. I mean, he is in.
I don't even think they know that they are.
Oh, I don't know, maybe not.
I don't think so.
I think the Bushes know for sure that they're in, because George Bush H.W. Bush was pushing so hard for the New World Order all along. And Henry Kissinger was his good buddy, and Henry
Well,
Kissinger,
Henry
I think Colin
Kissinger
Powell's
set it
in
up.
on it too.
yeah, I do too. He is, in fact, according to what I've seen on the internet. He just
And I thought
disappeared.
he was.
So what's he gonna do? Is he gonna get into the military and the international military? That's beautiful. That is awesome. I've not seen a clean brush like that in so long.
I was going, what is she writing back there? He's in love with, he's in love with the clean
Look,
brush.
Dean, look.
Whoa.
Put that back on the shelf. Take it up front, get a
Well,
refund.
I tried to get one of mine back to that, but now I think I ruined it. I had to cut
Yeah, that
all
don't
the-
look too
I had to cut all
I gotta
those
redo
off
my
now.
paint bucket down here somewhere. I haven't been
Well, I
able to
washed
put
and I washed
it
and I
together like I
washed.
want it put together, and I don't know how
Yeah,
I
it's
want it.
still,
No, see, it's full of paint.
I know, but I've tried to get it out and
You,
it's reading. I
you
had
soak
sit-
it in whisk.
I had soaked it till the stuff is,
In whisk?
no, in the
You
soap
gotta
there.
soak it in whisk.
It's like, okay, I pulled it apart. and I
But
can
it's,
see
that
it
spread
down
eagle, but
there.
we can use that for stains. But soaking in whisk, no kidding.
Okay.
Rick read in the consumers thing
Yeah.
that whisk, I use Tide because it makes my clothes smell so good.
Yeah, it does.
But he says I'm paying 3 times for it over Tide, over whisk.
It's like, okay. Just like I
Just
did.
put just put a fabric freshener softener in the dryer and
Oh, well, that's,
you're good to go.
oh, it smells good.
Once we get the dryer fixed. I have that part in the car.
What part?
The temperatures, the fuse, the fuse went. There's a fuse in it. Once it goes, you just gotta replace it. It's not resettable. Now, whether that's the total problem or not, I don't know, but that's part of the problem.
Well, tomorrow,
That's why I was asking where a local Sears store, or where they sell Maytag, where we can go.
you already got it? Oh, you got the old one in the car.
Yeah,
Okay. Tomorrow,
all right. Well, tomorrow you're leaving for Louisiana.
Monday,
Okay.
Tuesday.
Oh, man.
Well, Monday I don't
Forget the
get
whole
home
thing.
till late. You remember?
I
Yeah.
don't think there's any need in even doing.
You know,
that.
April 1st, I was riding home and Ricky was just giving me the hardest time about being home. He needed me at home. And so after a while I thought, I'm gonna fix him. So I called him back and I said, you know, Ricky, I've been thinking about it. And I said, I'm gonna spend a month with Aunt Icy. She needs me. And she's not doing good at all. And I'm gonna spend, Mama, you can't do that. Blah, 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 blah. He was falling apart. And I said, April
You left you with
Fool.
your daddy?
She was freaking.
That was the thing too. A lot of it. I said, April Fool.
She was preaching to you.
He said, you dog.
Yes, you caught me.
One of a kind. Which is a good thing.
Like a snowflake.
Okay, how's that?
That's looking good now.
In fact, you could go down through here. See what I'm doing?
I've got a busting headache.
Yeah,
Do you?
back up again.
And just show a little, when it stops showing,
Yeah, get a little bit, get some more.
yeah, don't load up big.
I like your opal.
Oh, thank you.
That's my birthstone.
Mm-hmm.
My ex-wife had a real pretty opal ring.
Yeah,
Her
I
shoes
got that
are
one when I
October.
was
What
back up.
color is it?
It's white.
Was
I
kinda-
thought opal was milky.
It is. It's
Well,
Well, some are, and
The
some
fire opals from Australia have different colors in them.
My birthday was
Well, you
the
work on that.
9th and hers was the 16th.
After a while, okay?
Okay.
Even in here, see, it's got a few, and you might need this, where is it?
That minister that's over the ACTS program there,
Yes,
he's also the meat department manager at HEB on Fairmont.
really.
And
I don't like that store.
The new one?
The
Too
one on
big,
Fairmont, no, it's on,
organized?
yeah, it's not.
well, I still like to go by there sometime and say hi to him, I think. No, I don't know that it really matters, because he probably looks, he's the kind of person who looks like he'd be busy. But, he was talking about teaching somebody to play the guitar, and I said, oh man, I said, I'd love to get you to teach me to play the guitar. And he goes, well, I've got a vacation coming up. Like,
Okay,
yeah, okay.
so now you're in trouble.
I wanna go to that guitar place over there at Walmart and find out how much lessons are, find out how I can, oh, well, someone learn to play the guitar.
Don't,
Just enough, not, it don't have to be no
See,
like rock
learn
star,
to
just enough
different.
chord to
Yeah.
sing some gospel songs or something. Although nowadays you gotta be a rock star to sing gospel songs.
That's not true.
Jeff plays guitar in his church orchestra band. And they go to South Main. And he embarrasses his mother to death because he plays blues
Mhm.
and he rocks when he plays. That embarrasses her to death.
I guess they all do
See,
it.
let
I
it
mean,
fade like this. Don't,
I know when
do
Jessica's
too
listening to
much.
her stereo with her headphones on.
just a little,
Yeah.
come
She
down
rocks.
here like I did.
Back and forth.
And see right
And I
in
have an
here.
idea, it's because
Let's see
when she
now,
was real
this
tiny,
comes this way.
I would rock her with the music on,
Yeah, yeah, I was doing it up on
soft
the
music. I don't know, I'm just talking.
Well, I don't know. There's some
Okay,
kind of,
right in
of
here.
therapeutic value in rocking, you know, and kind of, when we're singing in church, sometimes if it's the right, you know what I mean, I don't always necessarily do it, but I participate in the music. I love to sing gospel music. When I'm out in the audience, I'm kind of blending in with the crowd, you know.
Well, I'll tell you, ZZ Top was his idol.
Right.
anyway.
Not necessarily, I also like Led Zeppelin and,
ZZ Top's okay. I knew him and I took care of his mother.
did you?
Oh, yeah, he
Billy
loved-
Gibbons?
He loves his mother, okay. If she came in the hospital, it wasn't, if he was in town, he wasn't 15 minutes behind her. I mean, he loved his mother.
Who's that?
ZZ Top, the head.
Billy Gibbons.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and all of them would come running. I mean, it was like the whole group of them. It was like, oh, okay, Miss Gibbons in the hospital. We gotta get over there, man. They'd all clear out over there. Saw them all the time. And if he was out of town, oh my gosh, if you didn't put, I mean, he was calling her, and if she couldn't get to the phone or whatever, he would drive you crazy on the phone. Like, okay, what's wrong? What's wrong? Is the doctor in there? When's the doctor last time he was in? What? I mean, he was after you. Loved his mama.
Well, I'll tell you, I liked for, when Mother was in the hospital, she had, Dr. DeBakey and his team were her
What if you
doctor.
put all those tall ones together?
And,
What if you put all those tall ones together?
I don't know.
I
guess
might
maybe
have
because I
told
didn't
you
think
about this.
Yeah.
She was in,
They still have room.
Oh, yeah. That worked out. Those
she
are
was in
handy,
there
aren't
for
they?
10 weeks. And so she
Okay,
had,
where'd you get that here?
I can't think and talk. Can't work and talk. But anyway, she was in this same room for about close to 10 weeks. and all of a sudden they moved a smoker into her room. Well, at first the lady went out in the hall and smoked, and that was all right. But then but then she decided, well, this is my room too, I'm not going outside and smoke. And you can't blame her for really that back then, you know.
Smoke in the room, yeah, yeah.
And so, but boy, when I went in to see her, I went, down to the nurse's station, and I said, why did you move a smoker into Mother's room? And they said, well, we're short on room, and we had to do it. And I said, I'll tell you what, I want her out of there. I said, Mother can't stand the smoke, and I don't want the lady in there smoking. So they said, well, we don't have any other rooms. And I said, I'll tell you, I want to see Dr. DeBakey. They found her room real
Real
quick.
fast.
No, she said, Miss Clark wants her mother moved out of that room, and I said, no, Mother's been in there 10 weeks. She's got all kinds of junk, you know, that we brought in. I want the lady moved out. You moved her in lately. So they moved 2 men in private rooms together and moved her into one of them. But when I mentioned Dr. DeBakey, I mean, they,
Well,
you know,
were you mentioning that was that for real, or were you just throwing that out there?
I wanted to see him. I didn't even think about threatening him. You know, I wanted her out of Mother's room.
Had you ever met him?
I don't remember Ricky.
I'm just curious. I'm curious why it worked so well.
Because he's God up there.
Well, I
He was.
appreciate that.
He walks on water too.
Did he? Well, hey, I read a story that makes me think it's possible.
Well, I wasn't threatening. I mean it. You know, if you don't get her out, I want to see Dr. DeBakey. He was her doctor.
Oh, okay, there you go. That's what I needed to know. Okay.
Yeah, he was her doctor.
Okay, well, that's, yeah,
He
that's why they
wants to
responded.
put a little
I'm like, why did they
light
just
here.
snap to all of a sudden because you said that?
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Kind of like mine.
make it broader,
What?
make it more.
Make it more definite.
Make it more better.
No, you don't work on the light that's here. Yes, you do.
That's what you
Right.
told me last time.
Huh?
You told me last time, that's why I added more down.
Oh, you added it?
Yeah, that other part there.
Well, that canvas came blank, Mom. I mean,
Oh, I didn't know she'd added some more.
Oh, okay, I see.
I haven't worked on her. I've worked on your painting.
the whole time.
We just did the
I was gonna
beads
say
and
something
the
earlier and I thought, well, hey. But see, because working on black and white, you know, doing two radically different ones like that,
Yeah, I shouldn't have done
yeah, that was,
that. It was not wise, was it?
But she wanted a white bird.
yeah, but still, I mean, how can she, you know, that's,
I just didn't like black.
well, Mama, I don't know how to tell you this, but black is beautiful. You know,
Put a black bird on there.
I think it's a beautiful bird.
Yeah,
Both of
it
them
is.
are pretty.
It looks good.
Rheda, how come yours doesn't have a white dot on his nose?
She ain't got there yet.
Oh,
She ain't working on hers.
Both of our beaks needed working on, so
I would do it black, hadn't
hmm.
yeah, I didn't want. Hers can be the female. I don't think the female has that. I think that white dot makes it a male.
I? Yeah, mine's a lady.
I'd have to look up the what you call it with the swans. English aristocracy.
Well, whoops.
Well, you know, the black swans were they're the royal swans.
Or they,
So when they brought them over to Australia,
somebody smuggled the black one
I
out.
think that's what happened. They brought, you know,
Ooh.
but you didn't find them just out anywhere, the black swans. They were in the royal,
Hmm.
The river,
mhm.
River Thames.
And it was not very often that you saw their carcasses on the table to be eaten, but you saw the white ones.
How would you know?
I read a lot.
Well, but
I
I'm.
know, but, oh,
When they
they
pull the
just,
feathers off of them?
they just didn't.
No, well, they would pull all the feathers off, and then when the bird was all cooked and everything, they would reassemble everything so it still looked like.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
It's true.
I believe it. Hey, I mean, when you know, when you're,
It's
when you
just
get
the
all
way
that kind of
they-
money, you gotta do something with it. Takes things
I
like
don't
that to
think
make sure
they
you
eat
understand
swan
the
over there
position.
now.
I never thought, I didn't know people ever ate them.
Like, you know, that's why I didn't know people ate pigeons either, but
Pigeons?
they just called them another name when they put them on the
Swans.
shelves.
From what I understand, at, some fast food chains, people eat horse meat.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you can get horse meat and,
I don't know if you
Goat
really know what you're
meat
getting into, but,
well, Europeans like horse meat.
yeah, do they?
Yeah, they eat horse meat all the time. They don't have that many cows.
Hmm. You got that all right?
I got it.
Is that, all right or too much, what, G?
No, it looks pretty good, Miss Rheda. We need more coming down from this way, like things from there.
Kroger's now carrying bison meat.
What meat, bison?
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo.
I've seen in places a lot of, you know,
H-E-B
like
does too.
on trips, a lot of meat places that sell
It used to be,
bison burgers even and
Yeah.
stuff, you know.
Bison don't sound so bad to me. I mean, that sounds like something that would be.
It's a very rich, red looking meat.
Really?
It doesn't have a wild taste?
I don't know.
I didn't like the taste of it when I sampled it.
I don't know
like
that I've
your
ever
meat
eaten
if
any
you
of it.
can tell it's, you know. And, Basma, I told her I don't like,
Mutton?
Oh, I don't like
Lamb.
lamb. Ugh.
and she said,
That's all they
so
offer.
the next time I was there, she said, that they had something for lunch, so I don't remember what she called it. And, I said, she said, would you like to try it? And I said, oh, yeah, sure, I said. And so she gave it to me and I tried it and it was good. And she said, well, do you like it? And I said, oh yeah, it's good. Oh,
Was it mixed in with rice and everything?
yeah,
Yeah, I love that stuff.
it was good.
We
And
used to
but
sit
Mary
around
Gerber, this friend of mine, told me I'd like hers. Well, she's dead now, but years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and man, it tastes like sheep. And I said, Mary, I can't do it. I don't want it. So
The Middle
anyway,
Eastern, well, the Arabs, period, the Middle East, I guess it's all called Middle East.
Yeah. That's
They,
it.
she says we sell somebody else's lamb, and she, and at HEB, they tell her whether it's American lamb or this other,
Oh, okay.
Australian.
in Australian.
Yeah.
And she said she only buys American lamb. That theirs is not
We
good.
used to, we'd sit around a big, everybody'd sit on the floor.
In a
Around this-
circle.
Yeah, with a big pile of this, whatever, rice and everything and all on it. And
Scoop it up with your bread.
Yeah, just eat right out of this big pan, yeah.
I ate
You only
it
you're
in
right,
Australia, you
Yeah.
see,
Only you're
because
right.
it was forced on me. I go down a little bit. And I
Probably
know y'all
because
had
one of my
cattle
buddies,
here.
the operator
I know
of the
they had
plant came
cattle
out
in
with a bowl of
Australia,
grapes.
so I was
My
like,
buddy
"Give
was
me that
left-handed. So he reached over and
I'm not
grabbed the
gonna
grapes,
eat
and the operator just got up and went and
land.
washed the grapes off, and came and set them back down.
What,
My buddy
Ricky?
snapped like, oh my God.
Oh, the grapes,
Because he'd reached in with his left hand, the guy picked the bowl of grapes up, went and washed them off again,
he was left-handed.
and then brought them back out and set them back down, never said a word.
Yeah.
And they never flinched, nothing. Those people in Saudi Arabia were extremely polite, extremely, you know. The only one I had a problem with was a cop that took me to the police station with a machine gun pointed at me because I had a
Because
camera
of that camera.
around my neck. He didn't know what it
Yeah.
was. He didn't know what a camera was. And I was nervous, I'll tell you that. But otherwise, you can't believe the news. You cannot believe the news.
Can't believe what?
The news.
I mean, I'm sure they do have their problems. I'm sure there are areas
Mhm.
that are, but I guarantee the majority of the population is just wishing it would all go away.
Well, Lance said when he was stationed in Dubai, about 6 or 7 months ago, that was the prettiest place.
Well, Dubai now is a special
Yeah,
kind of a place.
Well, yeah, it's man-made and all that stuff. They
Yeah.
dredged it and,
And it's got a budget, you know,
yeah.
it's got management, it's different, but yes.
But he
And
said
Saudi
it's
Arabia's the
not
same
very
thing,
good,
too. Saudi
but
Arabia's
you
royalty,
see-
it's,
Went ahead of me. See, you've got a white reflection.
So
Well, when they would come over here
You got
to the
black.
hospital,
Like,
to see the
like
baby
bird.
bird, that entire 12th floor was evacuated.
Yeah.
Well,
So I gotta go.
Everybody was moved
Yeah,
out.
put yours down and start
And
walking.
then they took over the whole floor.
what time is it?
At
There was a
7:30.
security measure, I'm
We
sure.
got 15 minutes.
They had a security guy in all the stairwells and,
that plane we flew over, that KLM plane that we
See,
flew over,
that's
it was
dark.
like a double decker, and there might even been a third deck, I don't remember exactly, I think it was that third deck was all exclusive, but I don't remember how much of it was exclusive for them.
Oh, I can,
The rest of those
I was gonna do
contractors,
the black
whoever.
reflection. I guess I would do a black.
Well, my friends down at the
I like your one.
convenience store, 2 blocks from our house, they're
Well,
Palestinians.
that's dark,
There's,
no
I think the
matter,
world of them.
you know, the back
Oh,
part
they
of
do.
it.
Yeah.
Known them for many years, for a long time, several
Mhm.
years. But even still, check this one out now, even still, the one that I care for, the one that I had the best relationship with, that I spent the most time with, his brother, actually I invited his brother and his wife to church, and they came to church for a while. And Jimmy's been to church with me too, I think. But Jimmy's gone to Canada for 3 months. I'm thinking, why? Why are you going to Canada for 3 months? What are you training to do?
Yeah, stop and think about it,
You know?
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, Ricky, don't pop off, just find out what he was doing up there.
I will. No, we're in these perilous times, and I'm not gonna. Their names are Abraham, Isaac, Jimmy, and George. Whatever Jimmy and George's names really are, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know, but Jimmy's the one that opened my eyes to something else. He said, well, you know, who the Muslims worship? And I'm like, they worship Allah. He said, yeah, the God of Abraham,
it's the same one.
you know?
Say,
And I'm like, whoa, dude.
say, well,
They
he's
sure
also
do.
the God of Isaac.
Say that again?
Well-
Because he was God of Isaac.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but then,
Ishmael,
he said it was Ishmael's children,
Yeah,
but they still worship God of Abraham.
yeah, I said both
But-
of them knew, they just went the
but-
wrong direction.
neither one of
They
them
don't-
worship Jesus,
No,
you know?
no, they're not Christians.
They're either Jewish or Muslims. And the Muslims are, God told them what they were gonna be from the get-go.
The whole world's, he's gonna fight with everybody he meets, and everybody's gonna fight him. That's what God told Hagar.
Yeah, but they didn't listen to the other, that they weren't supposed to try to kill off everybody either. It's like, okay, why did Muhammad get that in his mind that everybody ought to
Yeah.
be killed off?
Everybody that won't be Muslims.
Well, Muhammad saw an angel. Muhammad got the Quran, wasn't it, from an angel? Like Joseph Smith got the
Mhm.
Book of Mormon from an angel.
Mhm. Angel from whom? You know,
A
there are
golden
fallen,
angel, a
they're
golden
fallen
angel.
angels, well, they can be fallen too.
Well, no, I'm
Because
not,
part of them went with-
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And God in fact clearly tells us, any man, you to be an angel from heaven, add to or take away, you know,
Yeah.
that don't accept it. So there was a special statement made, that even if it's an angel, you know,
Though it be an angel.
though it be an angel. And yes, and Lucifer,
His was an angel.
the angel of light,
He was the most beautiful of all.
yeah, the angel of light. Not some evil looking,
He was the choir director up there.
So, he still goes back and forth to heaven to talk to God too.
Yeah,
well,
I got, no, I'm just trying to say this, one of my teachers, Sanskrit teachers or whatever, and I can't even remember who it was or whatever anyway. Cause I said that one time, I said, well, he fell from heaven, yes, God, he was kicked out. I said, but he still goes back to heaven to talk to God, cause God does not come down to him. He goes back
well,
up
it
there.
says,
That he goes
yeah,
up to converse.
that the sons of God were before him, and Lucifer was there too.
Mhm.
and in the book of Job describes, you know, a casual conversation between God and Lucifer, and what you been doing? Just going around seeing who I can devour, you know?
Yeah.
That's in Job.
Yeah, well, have you considered my servant Job? My favorite have you considered my favorite person?
Yeah, sick him right on him.
Yeah.
What is that?
I remember.
Oh, what is this?
Mm-hmm. It's a dirty brush.
Okay,
Leave it in there.
yes, ma'am. And I wasn't really, I thought maybe it was, you overlooked that. I didn't realize you planned it. I wasn't trying to cause you no trouble, but
I
like,
see, okay.
but now that I brought it up,
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna get this done tonight, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna wipe that down some. Cause I don't want it to be harsh enough to give me a hard time.
actually that time looks good like that. You
It's
got
a
a headache?
Hawaiian, no, I'm listening to that song, it's a Hawaiian hymn.
Really?
I remember we've got a couple of them.